Welcome to PHP Podcast. I'm Mike.
And this is Orlando, and we're on episode 205.
Yeah.
I'm a little uneasy about this one, Mike. Not going to lie.
Yeah. Because every episode we come into the episode and he hands me like all the notes that he's kind of been prepping and preparing.
I'm like the producer.
So I go in blind. I'm like, all right, what are we talking about today? And I usually am just kind of reading ahead as we're talking. Today we were going to have an interview, right?
We were. So Pro Duo Flippers, which are awesome people. David and his wife were going to be on the podcast. It was going to be our interview that was going to be dropping today when you're listening to this podcast. But unfortunately, he has COVID, and so he can't, be in the same room space. And so he's unable to do the interview with his wife. And so we said, hey, well, let's reschedule. And best of luck. Hopefully everything works out. Hopefully he recovers quickly. And totally understandable. And, this just happened. I mean, I think it's been a little more than 24 hours. So, but, we're in the midst of craziness, which we're going to talk about. And so Mike and I didn't have a chance to regroup and go, hey, what are we doing for this episode, right?
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not doing all of the Amazon retail arbitrage stuff, but I know Orlando is crushing it out there. That's kind of this time of the year. Trying to even get a hold of Orlando. Actually, that's not true. He's always responsive. I'm the one that's never responsive. But he's working like crazy. And so I was like, what if I just kind of ask you some questions about how things are going, some tips that you might have, what you're already seeing? Because right now, when this episode drops, we're just past the Black Friday. We're going into Cyber Monday. And, people are still trying to figure out what does reselling look like this Q4, because it's different, because we're noticing that everything in the world is different and things. I mean, we just talked about the person we were going to interview having COVID and people are not going out. And so the world looks different now. And so Orlando doesn't have notes to go by. We're just going to kind of free flow this. But I think that's good. I think it's good for us to kind of timely information about what resellers can be doing, how they can be capitalizing on the current situation that we're in, trends that we're seeing, how sales are doing, what it's like doing even Black Friday shopping. Because one thing I noticed, I didn't do Black Friday shopping as it were, but we did go to Target on Black Friday and a couple of other stores.
You did?
Yeah. Well, the reason we went is it just happened to be we needed some stuff, and it was like, well, let's go out. And it was amazing. Like there was nobody there. I mean, it was like a normal, like I expected.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I went like, probably like 9 o'clock, 9:30. So it wasn't like, I was definitely not like there when potential doorbusters would have been there, but I don't think there were even those kinds of lines. But when we got there and we pulled into the parking lot, it was relatively empty. But what was really frustrating is my wife, a couple of days before, had ordered several things from the Target website, right? Because they're having good sales. And some of the things weren't sale items. It's just stuff we needed. Like we wanted some stuff to organize and organize my son's room because he just had his birthday. And so he's got all these new toys. And so she bought some like storage bins and stuff online and was going to pick them up. And a shirt she was trying to exchange and get a different size shirt for him. And as we were getting ready to go there, we're getting all these messages of like, Target's out of stock, Target's out of stock.
Really?
And I was like, wait a minute, like we already ordered these. Like we were supposed to go pick them up. And so we get there and they had like 2 of the 7 things we ordered. The rest they said, sorry, we don't have them. They're out of stock, even though they showed in stock when we ordered them for the pickup. Well, we're walking the aisles and we notice the stuff's there that they said wasn't there. And so I'm thinking, if I was doing this for reselling, if I'm like, all right, I'm going to order this stuff, because that was the big thing a lot of these places were saying, like you can order the things ahead of time and basically just do pickup. You could even, they had a booth out front where you can kind of walk up to the booth. They'd bring the stuff that you purchase out to the booth.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'll talk about that in a moment here.
But I would imagine that if you were buying stuff for reselling purposes, and so you order a bunch of things and they say, sorry, we're out of stock, and you just take their word for it, not realizing that, I don't know if it's just laziness on their part that they don't want to go in and actually check. But what's your experience been with those booths?
So this is just, we're talking about, retail arbitrage and how to be, I guess this is like how to be successful in Q4, in the midst of Q4, which we've titled episodes like that before. So one of the things I do love about the store that shall not be named in the retail space is their drive up. It is so nice. I strongly recommend, if you're doing RA, don't even step into the store unless you get messages that they're out of stock. Because one of the things I've been doing the last 2 weeks is, I find, I do search Amazon and I find, what's hot and what's out of stock. And again, the key thing, I always say this with Amazon, is Amazon's your biggest competitor. So you want to make sure that if you pick up an item, it's something that Amazon is constantly out of stock, because if they're in stock, they may be stock all of Q4. I have an item right now that they were out of stock 2 weeks ago, and I bought a ton of that item and I sent it in, and they've been in stock for 2 weeks. So I'm waiting, but hey, we're still not at, the massive wave of sales which you would think we were, but we're still not there. We still have a few more days until that actually begins to happen. But going back to the Target space, the store that shall not be named. So
that might be a little bit too much of a mouthful. The store that shall not be named in the retail space.
No, it's actually.
I think Target's fine.
It actually should be the retail store that shall not be named. I forget to put that first word in the beginning. That's my problem. So it's been beautiful because I will find something and I'll just, 5 stores. I'll say I want this quantity, and you got to be careful because they do put quantity limits, but it's really easy workaround. You put how much you're picking up, and if it gives you a quantity limit, you just order that, and then you just reorder, and you're fine. Now, the one thing that will happen, which happened to me last year, is my Target Circle. Do you have Target Circle?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
You got yours suspended, right?
I'm banned. Yeah. So I lost all of that, and I don't want to argue the point because, I'm a pretty familiar looking guy. I mean, that's one of the things I don't like about, there's a lot of things I love about my goatee. One of the things I don't like is that people recognize me, but which has been nice because when I've gone to stores, not just Target, but I've gone to other stores, they're like, hey, I remember you. You're in the system. And so I don't have to wait for them to go, hey, do you have your seller's permit, blah, blah. They know who I am. They ask for my phone number and it's good to go. All right, getting to the point. So you order all those items and literally it is beautiful because no one uses Drive Up much, at least out here, right?
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, it's weird how things are shifting. Like the fact that you're doing your research on Amazon from home, you're able to go through the store online through Target or whatever store you're looking stuff up. So the days, I don't know if the days are going to be completely gone, but you're already seeing a shift from having to go into the store and scan things to you can do it at home and drive up and get it brought to your car, right? Like it's amazing that we're moving to a culture, and part of it is the pandemic, and a lot of companies are adjusting and shifting. But I think that once a lot of these things are in place, they don't go away, right? Drive Up has already kind of been a thing. More and more people are starting to use it, but you're right. It's not being utilized so much that it's actually slowing you down. It might actually be speeding you up.
Well, here's the thing, right? You usually have to wait in a line. The Drive Up is so easy, and it's the same with other retailers. But you hit this, I'm on my way. So sometimes when you're in that store, you hear the and that basically tells the employee, I would not like to be a Pavlov dog in the store. Like that thing, you must have nightmares in the middle of the night. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The little beep beep or whatever sound that is. So as soon as you hit I'm on my way, because I did it in front of an employee because they had to get the code again, it triggered that sound. And then when you arrived, I think there's a different sound. But it's nice because I may be 2 minutes away. I say, I'm on my way. I park. There's no one around. No one's been around. Seriously, it's been, you would think, and amongst the Black Friday, that there'd be a lot of people. No, it is, I will say it's strange. And then as soon as I say I'm here, I would say the longest I waited for anyone was maybe 2 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes. I would say it was scary at times. Within 10 seconds, I see them out there with the carts bringing all my stuff to me. And, I feel kind of weird. I'm out there with my huge white cargo van. I open it, and luckily I have boxes already made. So tip real quick, always have boxes made to put inventory in so it's not sliding around when you have to make turns or, run away from people, whatever it is. And, I'll open it, and sometimes they'll ask me, like, what's this all for? Is this for charities, for donate? I still get those questions. It just drives me crazy. And I
that's when you just like,
I just say it's for Christmas. I say it's for Christmas.
Or you could just nod and grunt.
Nod and grunt.
And just,
or like, no hablo inglés or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they bring it out. And here's the nice thing about it. Number one, you don't have anybody stopping you from making a purchase, right? That's one of the things, they've actually have stuff out there, right, on their shelves saying that we do not sell to resellers, limited quantities. If you do the Drive Up, I've never had anybody hesitate. And usually it's what do you call it? Seasonal workers. right? It's not a manager. It's not a supervisor. It's usually a seasonal worker that's just trying to make the quick buck over the holidays. And so they don't, it doesn't matter to them too much. So in and out really quick, able to hit 5 stores within an hour, as long, depending where you are geographically, without ever stepping foot in a store. Now, I will say, I do go in the store and scan though.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say it's probably important because just because you're seeing certain things online, there's going to be other things that you're going to notice when you're actually in the store. Maybe it's something on sale or on clearance or something you might not have thought of, but as you walk by it, you're like, and you scan it and you might not have thought, because to be honest, the Target website is still, I don't feel like that friendly to like look up items. So
it's not. Neither is Walmart. They're both terrible.
Yeah, when you're looking like what's a sale item, it's like you got to go into categories like toys, and then inside of toys, there's like 7 categories. You can click on it, and then you see like it's not just like walking down the aisle and you just see everything. Go,
well, not only that, it tells you there's 25 pages, but you click and each page has repeat items, and sometimes you don't know which ones are the repeat items.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that at all?
No, yeah, for sure. And it seems like they're getting better. Target and Walmart. I mean, one of the things I noticed that a lot of stores did is free shipping for like Black Friday sales. They did like free shipping because I think they have to compete with Amazon. And so the more these stores are doing that, they've got to, otherwise Amazon's going to own the, and they already kind of do, but they're going to completely own this Q4 if these stores don't find ways to compete. So they're trying to make their websites better. They're trying to make it easier to just pull up and get stuff. But one thing I kind of found, I'm interested to see what you think about this. So they've been kind of blasting this idea, and maybe the whole doorbuster thing wasn't as big this year, didn't exist.
Well, I'll talk about that a little bit. There were doorbusters before Thanksgiving.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. But one thing that I've noticed is you walk around the stores, because I go to Target probably twice a week with my wife. It's kind of just something fun we do. It's like a date night almost. So we'll even take our son and we just walk the aisles, and we usually only have to get like 1 or 2 things, but it's just kind of a way for us to get out. And so we go to Target, and they've had the all of November, pretty much like Black Friday now sales. But to me, it doesn't seem like those were like their real Black Friday sales. It was like some nice deals here and there. But I feel like every store, like we have a friend who's a manager at Home Depot, and he says the same thing. We do a big Black Friday sale, but honestly, some of our best like sales are before Black Friday. Like we just put things on sale. So it doesn't seem like anything new. They were just kind of saying, hey, look, we're trying to spread out Black Friday. But on Black Friday, when we walked Target, it was very clear, even though it wasn't as crowded, this is like Black Friday. Like the things they have in the middle of the aisles, and they've got like inside the toy section or inside as you walk down the aisles, they've got the stations of like, oh, here's like the board game station, and here's the TV station, and so I don't really feel like it was that different, even though they tried to make it seem like Black Friday wasn't going to be special at all. It still seemed like it was a unique day in the retail store. What did you notice it like that?
There were some strange things. So on Wednesday, I just ended up going to the retail store that should not be named, just because like I just wanted to see what was there. And I'll talk this in our update episode, but I've really been going to the offline stores. Like I have not been going to stores that people can use Tactical Arbitrage or BrickSeek or Zoolert. Do you know about Zoolert? So Zoolert tells you when hot items are in stock. The only reason I don't use it this year is I signed up for it one time on my phone, and I kept getting alerts even after Q4, and I couldn't get rid of the alerts. So I'm still hearing about the Jojo Siwa doll that we've all been haunted by in February. And I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like I don't, just stop alerting me, but it wouldn't stop. So, but if you, that helps you, Zoolert, it's a great tool. It's not 100%.
If you want to be spammed with messages.
Yeah, but it's a great tool. It's kind of similar to BrickSeek and Tactical Arbitrage, but remember, everybody's using these same tools. Right. And so what I noticed was there were already Black Friday deals there, and it was random. Like you just walk in, it's like Black Friday deal, 50% off. At Target, they had 40% off Legos. Right. But this is different for me this Q4 than ever before. I used to buy all kinds of Black Friday items. Remember the Ryan's Piggy Banks last year? Do you remember what I did with those?
I don't.
I returned all
Did
of
you?
them.
Nice.
And I did not want to do the walk of shame again. I just didn't. I've never returned so much ever in my entire
You feel
life.
in a lot of ways, I almost feel like trying to resell Black Friday things, unless it's like the doorbuster random thing where it's like there's only 5 of them per store and you're getting a deal that isn't really available to as many people worldwide or countrywide. But it's almost like buying things on clearance. When you go to Target or you go to Walmart and you're like, ooh, these items are on clearance. And so you pick a bunch up, but then you realize that market is flooded because everybody across
it's the same scenario.
And so that's what I feel like the Black Friday sales are. It's like, well, everybody was able to get these video games at 40% off. So they're just really cheap. So when Target or when Walmart does a big sale like that, what I notice is almost this exact same prices where Amazon prices. Right? Like Amazon's matching those prices.
Oh, they definitely do that.
And so not only that, but people are able to get them for so cheap that resellers who are trying to offload their items that they've already picked up or they're picking up those items have to compete with these stores because they're still in stock at Targets and Walmarts. So in order to sell out, they're pulling that lever. And so across the board, you don't even have to go to Target to get the Target deal, because when Target puts that kind of a deal nationwide, Amazon's going to be matching it. A lot of resellers are going to be matching it because everybody's got to sell at that price or they're not going to be getting rid of it. So if you see a good deal, you're probably going to get a similar deal on eBay or on Amazon. So you almost have to think outside the box and pick up the stuff that's not on sale that's still going to be selling.
Now, that's not to say that there weren't Black Friday deals out there that were profitable. Right? I mean, there was a handful. It's a little different. I felt that last year I waited until Black Friday to do Q4. Like I had sent in a bunch of stuff already and I was ready, but I felt that Q4 had already started for me back in November. So Black Friday was just like every other day. It was weird. It was really weird. So, and I'll share a little bit more on our update episode that's dropping on Wednesday. But part of the thing is, I've been looking at how can I do things different, because I've said before, I've had successful Q4s and I've had Q4s where basically I just worked harder to end up even. Like I didn't make a lot more money and I made some. It was still profitable, but the amount of hours I put in did not equal the amount of money I probably should have made. So I'm really a lot more strategic. Now, let me ask you about eBay. How's eBay been?
It's actually been pretty good. And surprisingly, things that we wouldn't expect. Like I picked up those AT&T signs, right, a while back for like $5 each. Yeah. I've been selling consistently like 2 or 3 a week for the last couple of weeks. Like, so real quick, been selling.
In case you're wondering, so Mike, you found a bunch of AT&T signs that were vintage.
I don't even think they're vintage. I mean, I guess
they're new in box.
Yeah, they're new in box. And they're AT&T long distance phones, and it looked like something that maybe
has to be vintage. What is long distance anymore?
That's true. That maybe would have been attached to like a phone booth or like put up on a bus stop or something. Like just there, it's a strange sign because it even has like the hardware for mounting it to like a pole or something like that. And I picked up several boxes of them. I mean, I don't remember the exact number, but I bought them all. The guy had them at a garage sales, and I just picked them all up, and he wouldn't budge on the price much, but I got him down to like $5 a sign, and I've been selling them.
Wouldn't budge? That's like a deal.
Well, I mean, it's a deal, but the thing is, I was buying all of them, right?
Yeah,
so I
get it.
It was one of those things where like, I'll give you $100 for all of them, and he's like, no, $5 each. That's going to be $185, and I'm like,
oh, okay.
How about like $140 for all of them, right? Like I'm trying to do the all of them thing, and it was like, no, $5 each, right? So like that's what I was able to get him down to. But those have been selling, so I don't know if something's going on with AT&T or if people are thinking this would be a good Christmas gift, like for somebody's man cave if they love AT&T or whatever it is, or somebody used to work for the company and they'd want this sign. And so things like that, I've had several books sell, some toys that we've picked up in the past have sold. So we're doing pretty good, even on things that are used, right? So we've had some used clothing sell. I am noticing, and I talked about on the last update episode, that like there's kind of been an uptick in the return requests. Like I went for a while there where there was just none. But I think everybody, like money is a finite resource, right? And so people are buying stuff, and then maybe they realize like, hey, Target's doing a Black Friday deal and I need this new TV. And I just spent $60 on this thing on eBay. I'm going to send it back, right? Like, I don't know why people are sending stuff back, but I'm assuming that could be part of it. But I just think in general, people are willing to spend more money this time of the year. They're more generous. And it's one of those things where it creates, we talk about like the positive cycles that people get into, or like the psychology behind people purchasing things, as we've talked through different level up review books that we've done. And as people spend money, they get a little bit of a dopamine rush. They're buying something for somebody else. They're already spent money. And so to them, if you've already spent $500, it's like, well, what's $30 more for this other thing? Whereas if somebody's being really tight with their budget, spending $30 on something that they haven't budgeted is going to be tough. And so as people spend more money, people are going to spend more money. It's unfortunate for individuals who get stuck in that pattern, but it's really fortunate for the people who are capitalizing on it, right?
No,
So
and
resellers.
I agree with you. I'm getting more return requests, but I'm getting nice ones. So it's like, these are really great shoes. They just didn't work out. Or this is a really awesome shirt, just a little bit too big. Like it's weird because usually it's just like doesn't fit, too large. They always have to put that. I really like this. So what I'm thinking is going on is I really liked it, but my budget, I'm not sure I can make this happen. But I'm glad I was able to get this still.
Yeah, I've overspent. But
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I think the subliminal message is. Now,
it's really nice when people are being nice to you, though. Like that's helpful when it's not like a mean. Speaking of being nice, man, your dome is looking pretty good.
all right. So I was going to that. Okay. So obviously we're going to our sponsor, Skull Shaver here. And Mike and I it's kind of like we were on the road and we're like, we got to record this podcast,
Yeah.
which is real.
A little chilly in the studio today.
So yeah, here's the thing. So with my dome, here's what happened. I've been so busy, I did not get a chance to shave.
But still looking pretty close. When was the last time you shaved?
5 minutes before the podcast.
Oh, nice.
Right. So while I'm texting Mike, I'm running 5 minutes late. I'm also with my other hand using my nifty Skull Shaver, and it took care of it. And I'm telling you, it is on the go. If you're a reseller and you like that clean dome look and even the clean face shaven look, getting one of these Skull Shavers, right? We have the Pitbull Platinum Pro, which is the top one. It's really nice, but
So nice.
even the middle of the road is still awesome. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a good company. So whether or not you're getting the top one or a middle one, you're getting quality. And you can just tell because they're heavy, they're quality, and it feels good. Like sometimes when you use electric razors, like it like snags and grabs and it hurts. This, like I said before, and I'll say it again, it feels like I'm giving my head a massage, especially when I like rub some.
Have you said that before?
Yeah.
Give your head a massage?
I do like a single edge or a double edge razor for my face. It's like old fashioned. So I have like the lather. And
that is old school.
I have the brush that I lather up and so I put that on my head and then, it just feels great. It feels like a massage. It like vibrates while it's going on.
I just did
Pick
it
one up.
without any of that.
So yeah, so you can go dry, you can go wet.
And it still works.
And it still works. And yeah, we love it. So if you want, pick one up or pick up anything from the Skull Shaver website and you will get a nice discount, and let them know that we sent you by using our promo code. So use promo code PURE when you check out. You'll get a discount. And yeah, do it. I mean, and again, since we're talking about the holidays, if you've got a man in your life who's lucky enough to be bald, then
who needs to be reminded that he should go bald?
That's right. This would be a great gift.
All right. So again, that is PURE, PURE at Skull Shaver. All right. Also, if you have not been following us on social media, we are Pure Hustle Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We are Pure Hustle Cast on Twitter. I'm starting to put us up on Fleets. You know what Fleets is?
I don't know. I'm almost worried that we might be overextending.
No, it's Instagram's. It's Twitter's Instagram stories.
Oh,
which is, I mean, I'm basically uploading the stories from Instagram on Twitter. I just don't understand why. I get you're trying to move into that space, right? And so, it's kind of like Instagram with Reels, right? They're trying to be like TikTok, which, by the way, appreciate all of you that found us through TikTok. We're gonna start uploading more on TikTok. We've just been super busy with Q4, so I think we're uploading like once a week. So, but hey, we're there, and all our Facebook peeps, we love all of you. We know we don't get back to you right away. Really appreciate you all. So on social media now. If you haven't had a chance to check out our domes, we are on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe and that notification in case we ever drop any videos here and there, or in case you just want to watch the podcast. And as always, you can give us a call, 619-738-1170. That's 619-738-1170. Or shoot us an email at purehustlepodcast@gmail.com. That's purehustlepodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to say thank you in a monetary way and just let us know you appreciate us, you can sign up for a membership for $5 a month. That's less than $1 an episode, less than your average Starbucks venti drink or frap, whatever you want to call it, for $5 a month at buymeacoffee.com/purehustle. That's buymeacoffee.com/purehustle.
Yeah, and you already noticed I was kind of playing with the Buy Me a Coffee website, and there's some pretty cool features in there. Like we can drop exclusive stuff just to people who are our subscribers or who are members or have donated. And so, we might be able to add like extra little things here and there. We don't have plans yet of exactly what that's going to look like.
Yeah, we're trying to get to a certain rate right now.
Right. So just know though that if you're supporting us, we really appreciate it. And of course we'll find ways to thank you for your support, because without your support, there is no PRS podcast.
Agreed. And so we're really grateful. I mean, some people have just signed up for the year like that without even thinking twice about it. So thank you so much. And if you're unable to in a monetary way, we always appreciate the iTunes reviews. We actually had a pretty awesome review. I want to read this one just because I really appreciate, when people take the time to write these, because, you can tell that it was written with, a lot of care and love. So I wanted to share this one because, it keeps them. We're at 355. My hope is 400 by the end of the year. That doesn't give us a lot of time, but
if you're listening right now and you haven't gone onto iTunes and left us a review, if you go and do that, all of the people will be well above 400. So we appreciate those of you who've taken the time to do that.
So Fierce Thrifts.
Ooh,
I love that name. This is their review. Said, these guys are the real deal. Give us all 5 stars. Thank you. Said, I've been meaning to write this review for quite a while now. I've been listening to Mike and Orlando for about a year. Their insights have really inspired me in a realistic way to pursue reselling more seriously. Both of them have an educator background and they bring their knowledge through in that way. Each episode is like its own lesson in reselling. I never thought of it that way. Interesting. They explain what has worked for them, but also warn this isn't a one-size-fits-all way to resell. These guys keep it real and don't sugarcoat the difficulty that come with the job. I love that Mike and Orlando can also present similar but different views.
Yeah, sometimes it's different.
Eloquently put. It helps to bring more perspective and substance to their discussions instead of seeing their topics from only one side. It's paragraph 1.
Wow.
I have also enjoyed the book reviews. I love hearing those too that they have done. I have not read any of the books yet, but the lessons about business, finances, personal growth have all added in their own ways. I will definitely be going back to and reading some of these books after listening to the overviews. And by the way, I think we've read 11 books.
Oh, that's pretty right? That's pretty good. So if you're just following along with the PRS podcast, listening, think about that. Like it's been what, like a little over a year that we've been doing the level up reviews, and you've gone through 11 books. Some people don't read that in multiple years, right? So just by listening, you're gleaning lots of information.
And they finish with, these guys are here for the right reasons, are not here to sell a course. They are 2 very genuine people. I highly recommend this podcast if you want to get information about furthering your reselling business or find out if the business is right for you. And I really appreciate that. I've always pushed since day one. We're not here trying to sell anybody anything. Down the road, maybe if, we have, 1 million followers, we might drop a book to say, hey, this is what we've learned over the last few years.
What do you guys want to see in the book? Do you want it to be like a how-to resell, or do you want it to be like a memoir?
The life and times of Mike and Orlando.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and A&E, if you're listening, we're willing to pilot a show with you, So, yeah. So anyways,
a memoir show.
I say all that because I really appreciate that review. Thank you, Fierce Thrifts, because it means a lot, because I've always been about, hey, we're here to document. We're not here to be gurus, right? So this is why I'm willing to share failures. Like the other day I posted on Instagram all my Ryan's piggy banks that I picked up, and I said, sometimes you can lose in Q4 because it's true, right? And it's somebody had commented like, it's very rare for somebody to show an L. And it's true, but I'll show them because this is the reality I live in. This is the day-to-day. Somebody else had commented on one of the stories about, I had mentioned like 5 tips for retail arbitrage and Amazon. And somebody said, those were all good. And I said, well, yeah, this is every day. Like I can only tell you what I know. And they said, well, that's so true. And so I want to let you guys know, like whenever Mike and I share, it doesn't come from a place of necessarily authority. It comes from a place of experience and learning, and we're all learning together. So appreciate all your support in the various ways you're able to do it, whether it's by buymeacoffee.com/purehustle or the iTunes reviews, or hitting that subscribe and that like button. Whatever way you do, we are grateful. So thank you so much.
That's good. How have you been experiencing? I was going to ask you about the limits. So you talked earlier about limits on products. Now, when I was at Costco the other day, just buying, we're going through.
I'm not happy with Costco right now.
We're going through like the toilet paper and paper towel craze again. If you haven't noticed, I don't know if it's nationwide, but we're starting to see it here. And we needed napkins for my son's little, we had a little get together and we're like, okay, we need some napkins for our house and we're running low on paper towels. And we went to get paper towels and they didn't have any. And so we saw a pack of napkins and we're like, well, who knows when we're going to get paper towels? So let's grab 2 packs of napkins. And we get up to the register and they're like, this is limit 1 per customer. And it's like,
what is going on?
Oh my goodness. And I get it. I want everybody to be able to get some, but you're seeing that everybody's walking out of Costco with paper towels in their cart. And I know not everybody in there needs paper towels, but there's that feeling of, well, if I don't get paper towels now, who knows when I'm ever going to get them again.
It's not because they're out of Charmin.
Yeah, man, the Charmin is good stuff.
It's good. Game changer. Game changer. Thanks to the pandemic. Yeah. I would have never bought Charmin. Anyways, okay, but I say this because I never share much about Costco because Costco is a really hard place to do any RA because their prices are really good. And generally, my biggest concern is always getting an infringement claim, right? Because a lot of it's private label, a lot of different companies. But I did have a run-in where I had over 100 units of an item. I was right about to put my card to pay, and I got approached. Not by just a store manager, but by like 5 other people. Like, what was I going to do? That's all I ask. Like, I understand. Maybe I look intimidating. Just maybe. I don't think I do because I try to smile, but I guess with the mask, you don't see my smile. My eyes don't smile very well.
You got to smile with your eyes. Yeah. And you don't, because when we take pictures, you've got the stone cold look.
That is true. I don't know why. That's been like that since birth. So I show up.
You're born with a stone cold look on your face.
Yeah, looking hard all the time.
You're like, I don't have my goatee yet, but one day I will, and you will recognize.
The manager approaches me and says, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't buy those." And I'm like, "What do you mean? I can't? You can only buy 5." I'm like, "What do you mean only 5?" She's like, "Only 5." And I said, "But these aren't essentials. These are non-essential. People don't need these items."
Did they have it posted that
no,
there was a limit?
There's no limit. Nothing.
Oh, that's a bummer. Because that's the thing with a place like Costco is we go there all the time, and people will, like, owners of small gas stations and liquor stores and little restaurants will go in and literally fill up the carts full of hot dogs, and they've got like 30 packs of hot dogs and 20 packs of condiments, and I mean, because it's literally a place for businesses to go to get supplies for their business.
I can't mention what the item is, but trust me, hot dogs were more of an essential than this item.
Well, yeah, okay. and they put limits sometimes on things that aren't essentials. Like they'll have limits on shoes or a limit on sale items that they do. But if they didn't have it posted, I would be a little frustrated.
So I've bought out tons of Costco's, and then I went to this one because I know that this one, they usually get their shipments in like 2 weeks later than other stores. It's kind of weird. But I after you go to certain stores, you're able to track when things come in. And I said, well, nothing's been posted. I have my resale license. I've been buying all the time. I'm good. And she's like, well, unfortunately, due to COVID, we're limiting in quantities. I'm like, we're limiting in quantities, or are you limited in quantities? Now, I knew I already lost, and this is why I was abrasive. Like, if I thought I had a chance, I think I would have gone never split the difference mode. And maybe I should have. But I didn't think I was going to be attracting any flies with honey. I think I would have just been spoiling myself. So, she said, well, no, it's not posted anywhere. I said, well, can I speak to your store manager? And she goes, I am the store manager. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, so this isn't happening.
That's when you got to fluff them up and be like, wow, you run a great store. This is by far my favorite Costco. I love the way you manage things. And
well, I almost should have taken out my picture of me and Bill Senegal when I met him at Costco, and I shook hands with him and had a conversation with him and said, Bill and I are tight. Like, are you sure you want to go down this road?
Pull rank on somebody, but
But anyways, so yeah, she just said, no, sorry. She's like, you can buy 5. And I'm like, no. She's like, you're not gonna buy 5. I'm like, it's not worth it to me. Like, why buy 5? Which I probably should have bought 5, but my ego was hurt. Like, I was mad. I was upset. So I walked away and I left. So be aware, it's really hit or miss with these, because you would think that Target would be stopping, but they're not. I think if people look good, they'll virtue signal and they'll do it. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, maybe if you were in a suit and tie. Like we talked about.
I thought about that because I literally was in a black shirt and a pair of shorts and sandals, so which is normal San Diego dress.
Yeah, and maybe she was flexing her authority as a manager, and
but she brought out 5 people. Like, what was I gonna do?
Well, again, just like showing, like, look, like we got to tell people, and people are like, well, how do we do that? And so she's like, this is how you do it, and she's kind of showing off, like, I want people to see that I've got authority.
They must have been watching me though. Like, because to me, I mean, I literally had things stacked. It was probably like a 10-foot stack. of stuff. I mean, I was thinking maybe if I was more incognito, that I would have been on the radar. I don't know. I was really bothered, but things like that are always a blessing in disguise because that item, the price has dropped so much that I probably could only make maybe $1 net profit on each one. So I'm glad I didn't buy it.
Probably wasn't worth your time.
No, it wasn't worth my time.
Then,
I'm grateful.
Thank goodness. You should go back and thank her.
Thank you so much for rejecting my ability to buy in a free market. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, all right. Hey, I wanted to talk about eBay real quick though, because you had mentioned this is what I'm noticing about eBay. So I have not been listing. It's been terrible. Like, remember I had plans. I literally have probably 200 items that I dropped some coin on before Q4 that I had planned on listing, and I haven't done anything. But sales are still coming through, and it's been weird. So I will recommend accept offers when they come through, unless it's obnoxious. Accept them, because of what I've been noticing is there's like this peak time for me from about I think 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. where if I accept offers, I just keep getting like purchases like right after. Now, again, don't know why that's happening. Maybe, somehow randomly within the matrix, it's been programmed for people to buy at different times. I don't know what's going on, but it's really strange because I'll laugh. I'll tell my son, I said, look, son, I'm going to accept this offer because I'm trying to teach him how to do reselling. Remember that Rich Dad Poor Dad thing where I was going to give him money? Mm-hmm. So his birthday happened. I give him some coin. I said, now you got a whole year to make as much money as you can with that money to get the car of your dreams. So I'm trying to teach him how to do this reselling stuff. And I said, you watch, I'm going to accept this offer. And within about 5-10 minutes, I'll get another sale. And I've been right. It's been kind of crazy. So, and it's been days so Thursday and Friday were crickets. So don't be disappointed if things were crickets for you on eBay Thursday, Friday, right? Because remember, most people are going after the Black Friday deals, right? They're not going, oh, Black Friday deals, I better get that certified refurbished deal that eBay is giving us right now. I mean, I understand. I appreciate eBay advertising that, but let's be real. Like, how many people in America actually were like, forget Walmart, forget Target, certified refurbished on eBay?
Yeah, and you can tell when you go on Amazon. I think Amazon's a good indicator because they have more data probably than any other company on their customers, right? On what kinds of things they're buying, what kinds of shows they watch. They have the pulse on the trends. And when you go to their deals, I scan through their deals and half the time, or more than half the time, I'm like, none of this stuff interests me, right? Like, I have a very unique, and so occasionally like cool board games I like will go on sale, but most of the sales, I'm like, people buy this stuff, but they know they're putting that stuff on sale because that's the stuff people are buying. So if you're not sure what to be picking up and what kind of stuff is selling now, go through and look at the types of items that are selling on Amazon. What are they putting on sale? What are their big categories? And then recognize that potentially as we get closer to Christmas and those sales start to slow down, that if you're selling the used stuff, or like you said, the certified refurbished, the things that people aren't necessarily looking to pick up now, people are going to start buying for themselves. Or again, knowing that, people get Christmas money, right? And so it's sometimes after Christmas, that beginning part of January, when people are starting to buy things for themselves from Christmas money that they got. So they're going to get the 60 pounds of Legos that they want to get for their, kid that they didn't get for Christmas, but it's like, hey, we got some extra money. My kids got some money. Let's buy these Legos, and they're going to get them on eBay. So those types of sales might come in a little bit later. But again, that might inform how you're sourcing now so that to capitalize on the stuff people are buying now versus the stuff people are going to be buying 4 or 5 weeks from now. Yeah.
And, Black Friday is only the beginning. Right. I mean, we've already had, I've shared this before. I think I've been at the same rate of sales since about November 1st. I don't want to, it wasn't exactly November 1st, but around that time. So the velocity has been there. Right. So I've been encouraging on Instagram, list everything because everything is selling. I mean, even if I go, let me just go to my recent eBay solds. I mean, it's going to be, I'm sure you have randomness in your recent eBay solds. So today I sold an indoor electric automatic. What is this? Some kind of Krups. I think it's like a panini maker or something. So I picked this up for 17 and I sold it for 93. I sold a handheld Atari game. I sold a pair of Pendleton shoes. Did you know Pendleton made shoes?
Huh.
Isn't that weird? For $106.
Nice.
No fees. By the way, no fees. Remember, I want to share this. I see people that list stuff for $99.99 that are athletic shoes. Don't do that. Because if you list it for $99.99, it sells, you're paying fees. If you list it for $100, you're not paying fees. Right? Just think about that.
Pro tip.
That's not even a pro tip, but you may not be aware of that, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been randomness. I mean, I've been selling toys. I sold some random Bakugan toys. Hey, by the way, I wanted to share about this real quick. So, this is the beauty of social media, and this is also the danger of social media. People are still sharing on social media, like retail bolos. And the only reason I know about this bolo is because I saw it on social media. So Bakugan, do you know what is that? Am I saying that right? Is it Bakugan?
Is it? I don't know. I've never said it out loud.
Well,
Bakugan, I think.
Maybe it sounds more official when Mike says it. But these were, keep an eye for these. But this is I'm just gonna throw it out there just on social media. This is the Deka Diamond Dragonoid Jumbo Transforming Translucent Battle Planet.
Yeah.
So
that sounds epic.
So I saw somebody post it on social media. Now, here's the thing. They posted it as if like you couldn't find these anymore. And then lo and behold, I went to a few off-price stores and I found it was one per store in all of San Diego. Now I cleaned out all of San Diego, I think, because I went back to the stores like 2 or 3 more times. And there was like a $7 pickup and they sold for $34. Not bad. But what I'm saying is be careful, right? If you're on social media and sharing your retail, because you never know, right? What market you're killing. You could be killing your own market, or you could be killing others' markets, right? And so right now, I would say I think there's greater scarcity as to what to get. And what I mean is this, is that there's especially, and I think I say this because in California lockdown, like Black Friday was different, right? Because stores were different. Right? I mean, there was long waiting. Did you experience lines though? Did you have to wait outside any store? So I had to. A couple stores, I was out there like 15 or 20 minutes.
All right.
And then it was another 15 or 20 minute line. And that was different about Black Friday. But what I'm saying is it's harder to get access to items. And so if there's less of supply in items and there's a harder access to get items once you share something, and that everybody's get going after that one item. So I shared this because I had actually somebody DM me on Instagram saying I got a return pallet from Amazon with 25 of these new and sealed.
Nice.
So, hey, there you go. And we'll talk about it in our updated episode about how you can buy pallets off of eBay, which is, I think it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, no,
maybe. But anyways, I say all this, keep listening. I mean, I'm selling shoes. I have a possible hustle of the week. Harley stuff is selling. Like everything is still selling. And so don't be discouraged if, during Black Friday, these last 2-3 days, it's actually Black Friday weekend. You're like, oh, my eBay sales have been kind of slow. It hasn't been what I thought. It happens every year. I've talked about this before where I thought Black Friday on eBay was going to be through the roof sales, but it's, unless you have new with tag items or new in box, chances are you're not going to make as much money as if you had newer items. But the sales still come through. It's still the hottest month for eBay in all of, the entire year. And on top of that, this is Q4 in a pandemic. So I'm thinking, like you were talking about how people are tighter with their money. I'm guessing, people are going to be looking for more secondary goods, right? Yeah. Because secondary money goes a lot further than trying to buy a new item.
Yep, very true.
So anything else you got going on? Anything you want to discuss about Black Friday?
No, I was going to say, as we wrap this episode up, do you have any tips? Because this is dropping the day before Cyber Monday. We're coming close to the beginning of December. What should we be looking for? And not necessarily items, but what should our strategy be? Because it's different now as we're coming closer to Christmas than it was a month ago.
All right. So I'm not a guru, but again, I speak from experience. So the one biggest thing you could do if you're selling on eBay, right, or Amazon is offer fast shipping. So if you're merchant fulfilled, make sure that your shipping template. Now, obviously, if you're too late to get into the program for Nationwide Prime, make sure that your shipping is expedited. Now, don't burn yourself, because if you do expedited on a Monday and somebody chooses second day air, that may eat up all your profits. But you can get away with doing expedited on a Thursday evening because priority works, because it goes into the weekend. Does that make sense? right? So if you do it Monday through Thursday, it doesn't. But if you do it Thursday through Monday and an item's supposed to arrive, you can ship priority even if it's second day air because it takes the same amount of time for the item to get there. If you're on eBay, right, make sure you switch your shipping and handling to same day. I wouldn't even do one day. I would do same day if you can. It all depends. You know, we all have there's a lot of people that have 9 to 5 jobs and you may not be able to do same day, but maybe your cutoff time is, hey, if I know that by 10 a.m. I can get stuff packed if I come home from work and I can get it to the post office, make it at 10 a.m. Because if it's at 1 p.m., right, maybe you won't be able to because that allows a window for more sales of items, which you might end up in a bad situation and you might not be able to ship out. So shipping is imperative. If you don't have supplies, it's a little late, but get your supplies now, right? Don't even right when you're listening to the podcast, go on, wherever you need to go on USPS or on eBay and order the shipping supplies. Actually, eBay shipping supplies, sometimes they've been within 24 hours for me.
Yeah, we've gotten them pretty quick.
Right? I mean, the other day, I'll share about this in our update episode. I needed boxes and I ordered them Thursday. What is today? Oh, okay, today is Saturday evening. They came in Saturday morning.
Nice.
Like that was fast. And so now I'm able to do merchant fulfilled. So be aware that, hey, by the way, I do hear a lot of people talking about don't send stuff into FBA. I'm not saying do it, but I'm still going to be sending stuff into FBA up until the 10th of December. The reason being is I think Amazon's worked out the kinks. Like I haven't seen a slowdown in check-in times. I've had some items that took a little bit longer, but that's because they all got sent to one place and then they got split up and it took different time to get to different fulfillment centers. The other thing is be constantly, if you're doing retail arbitrage, be constantly visiting stores because they're not announcing all their sales, right? So you may have something that might be on a sale Monday and it's not on sale on Tuesday and it goes to full price. And then that item might be worth money for you to sell. So be aware. And I'm a big fan of going inside of stores. I know, if you're in a different place with your health or with COVID, online arbitrage is safe. But remember, whenever you order anything online arbitrage, for every hour that item is not in your hands, that you can't list, that price is dropping every moment pretty much, right? Unless the demand outpaces the supply, you could have stuff drop several dollars by the time you get to it. This is why I'm not a big fan of online arbitrage. I know a lot of people are. This year, have I done any online arbitrage? Nope. I've done 0 online arbitrage this year. 0. And it's paid off because I've been able to get things in hand and I've been able to sell the same day instead of waiting 3 days and I get it 3 days later and I'm losing some money. And the other thing is understand these next 2 weeks are insanity. So be willing to put in the work. Be willing to put in that hustle. I know Mike and I go back and forth about how much hustle, how much work, but I'm always a big fan of like, hey, if you see the numbers and you're able to take a day or two off of work and you can make it financially viable for you to do that, you may come out better by taking that time to go sourcing and do listing than if you had stayed at your 9 to 5 and waited till after work. But that's up to you. But I've done it before and it's definitely paid off. So keep listing, keep going. We got a good solid 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. We don't even know. All I know is it's been Q4 since November 1st. It's actually Q5, whatever you want to call it. So keep hustling. And with that being said, make sure to be real,
be relevant,
and be reselling. Late.